grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire, standing next to me. There was another in the walls, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden, where another died for me. There is another in the fire. All my dead left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer enslaved to my sin anymore. Should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning? Either way, I won't bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There's another in the fire, standing next to me. There is another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding, the power set me free. There is a grave that holds nobody, and now that power lives in me. So I can see the light in the darkness, and the darkness bows to Him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as it race between west and. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come what may in the space between all the things unseen and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. I know I will never be alone. Be another in the fire, standing next to me. Be another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding, when power set me free, I'll count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I'll count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I'll count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail.
Well, good morning, Muncie First Church. We are so glad that you are with us today online. I'm excited to be with you today. Hope that you had a great Christmas. Hope that time with family was a blessing and refreshing, and that you've been able to have some rest and time off. Let me just begin this morning by saying we had recorded this message ahead of time. We had recorded it a week or two prior to today. And I felt good about it. And then when I went to do the editing, I deleted it all and deleted everything. And it wasn't just like deleted it and I could go find it in a file. No, it's deleted, gone forever, never to be seen again. And so in kind of praying and reflecting on that and what I should do next, I really felt like the Lord said, maybe you need to change what you were going to say. And so kind of coming at this from a very different angle than I intended to. But let me start by saying to you that I want to thank you. I want to thank you for 2024. Those of you who have served faithfully in our church, who have volunteered, who support with your financial giving, support with your prayers, support with just support to us and love and kindness. Those of you who've gone out of your way to connect with somebody or greet somebody who's new in the building, who've gone out of your way to take the risk and invite someone to church this year. So I am so thankful for that. And I am praying that we would see more and more of that as we move into 2025. It's hard to believe that 2025 is here. And as I think about all that we've accomplished in this last year, I am amazed by what God has done. We continue to grow. In fact, when we stepped into the lead role in May of 2023, we were running on average about 50 to 60 people. And we have seen in the last year that grow. Now, it's been slow growth over time, but we are averaging about 80 to 90 now. And then the Sunday that we had the concert, we had 107, which was a huge uptick in our numbers. And it's not always about the numbers physically, but we have seen growth in our online presence. Our social media presence and our online videos have grown a ton in the last year. At times, we've seen upwards of 3,000% growth in our involvement online. Our giving continues to grow. In fact, we have had months that are unexplainable. We can't even explain it to you why there is extra. Why is there extra? And it's because of your faithfulness and your generosity. We are so thankful for the support and the trust in us, the trust in our leadership, and the trust in God and what He's doing in our community. We continue to have new people show up every week. This past year has been a huge testament to that. We've had weeks where we've had 10, 15, and sometimes upwards of 20 new guests on a Sunday. Now, that's not the average. Average is about 2 to 3 every week. But still, to say that we've had Sundays where we've had 20 new people, that is incredible. And one of our goals in this next year, and we've been slowly trying to do this over the last year, is to develop new leaders, because we believe that the only way that we can grow and succeed in reaching our community is through a team. It's not about me. It's not all about Allison and I or any one person. It's about us working together to do what God has called us to do and reach our community. And so we have done some incredible things in this last year. Who would have thought that we would have been able to partner with another church, to partner for an entire year with a church? I kind of like to say it like this. We had a roommate. We had a roommate that came and they lived with us for a year, and that was successful. And I spoke with Pastor Nate this past week, and he shared some of their new success stories. Since their transition from our facility into their own, they have seen significant growth. Growing almost on average by 20 and 30 more people. They have seen faithful new attenders that have come from the community that they're in the neighborhood and area that they're in, that attend weekly, are serving and giving. And so God is moving, and I am so blessed that we were able to be a part of that by giving them a place to start. We have a new partner with the FCA and the Pickle House playing pickleball, which is crazy to think that we could have turned our gym into a pickleball facility and all that that has brought for us. You may not see it on the surface. You may not see it on a Sunday morning yet, but know that God is moving in that interaction. We are seeing new connections and relationships build with the people that are in here in our facility. Almost every day we have new people coming. And just for myself alone, I have been able to connect with nearly 30 new people that I would have never met if it wasn't for having pickleball take place in our facility. And so this past year, we came into 2024 where we set two main goals. Outside of our mission and vision, we set two main goals, and they were very simple, but it was a tall order ahead of us. And the goal was to remove whatever obstacles were hindering our growth. And some of those things were system issues. Some of those were not having volunteers in certain places, or maybe we weren't running ministries quite to the standard that we wanted to. But a lot of those were just simply things in our facility, things in our building that were broken down, that needed to be repaired, that were dirty and needed updated and different things. And I believe that this year we have accomplished that goal in a huge way. The second was to build a culture of invitation. Now, I think that on both of those goals, we have achieved them in many ways. But we continue to have to find the new obstacles that appear, the new things that are hindering our growth, because as we grow, those things will change. And there is always going to be a need to invite people, to be a place that is welcoming and open to inviting and makes it and it's a safe place for you to invite your family, to invite your friends, people that you know, your neighbors to church. And I always want that to be the case. And I think as far as 2024 is concerned, we have reached those goals. But those goals won't stop with this year. We have to continue on in that journey. I was reminded recently that if we want to grow, we have an obligation to prepare for that growth. Like a family that's getting ready to have a new baby, maybe their first baby or another baby, and they have to prepare for that. They have to get the house ready. You know, when you prepare for a new baby, you baby-proof things. You cover outlets. You build a nursery. You get a crib. You have buy diapers and clothes and all these things to prepare for when that baby comes home. You have to get ready. And I think that as a church, that's where we are. We're in this stage of needing to make sure we are ready for the growth that is about to happen. It's vital that we don't squander the blessings that God has for us, the move of God that is taking place here by not being ready for growth. Part of that preparation is preparing our physical location. As I said, we that was one of our goals, is to fix the things that were broken, to take care of things that needed to be taken. And we did that this last year when Bridgeway came in. And we've done it even more and in the partnership with FCA. I say we, but it was really a lot of their effort to make the renovations to our gym and to do things that we could have never done. But as a result of what was going on in the gym, it sparked an interest and a desire to move those renovations into this space. And we were able to, this last couple of months ago, to paint in our worship space, to give it a fresh coat of paint, to clean it up a bit and make it look nice. And who would have thought that we could have done that? I mean, there was a time and a place where we were looking at potentially selling this facility just to survive. And now we're talking about remodeling and renovating and making things new. God is so good, isn't he? In January, we'll talk about this more, but we are looking to continuing the renovations in our worship space. We want to continue to change the things that need to be changed, to update where we need updates, to clean and make things feel new and fresh when people walk in here. Some of that preparation that we have to do to get ready for growth is in our systems. It's not about our physical location. It's about being ready for growth. We talk about this from time to time, is that if 100 new people showed up here on a Sunday morning, would we be ready for that? What would we do? Where would we put their kids? Would we be ready for in the nursery or in the children's department? Would we be ready if that happened? And so we want to take steps in this next year to build our systems as a church to be ready for the blessings that God wants to pour out on us. So that if people came, we wouldn't be wondering what we're going to do. We would already have a plan. I recently heard John Maxwell talk a little bit about this, and he used the term procrastination. He talked about that as being getting that out of our lives. In fact, he said this. He said, if I could do one thing for people to help them be successful, I would take procrastination out of their lives. He went on to say that procrastination often leads to good intentions. We say things like, I will do that someday. One day I will, one of these days I'm gonna, but then one of these days becomes none of these days. And I don't want that to be the reality for us. I don't want us to say, one of these days we're going to get ready for growth. One of these days we're going to fix that. One of these days we're going to change the carpet that's stained in the church. I want to start living into that today. And I hope that's true in your life as well. Don't be one of those people that says, well, one of these days I'm going to do. No, let it be today. Make it today that you do it. Don't be one of the people that says, oh, I'll just put that off and put that off and put that off, and then you end up never doing it. You never reach your goals. You never make the change. You never move forward in your faith because you're hoping for a day somewhere down the road. When opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So let's not wait to prepare. Let's not wait for it to be perfect and have everything exactly ironed out. Let's trust God today and move forward in getting ready for what He has for us. Let's trust Him for tomorrow. But let's not wait for tomorrow to get here. Let's trust Him today. I like the way the Apostle Paul put it in writing to the church at Corinth. In 1 Corinthians, he says this, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Therefore, I do not run like someone running aimlessly. I do not fight like a boxer beating the air. No, I strike a blow to my body and I make it my slave so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. I think for us individually, but for us as a church, we need to go into strict training. We need to train our bodies to be disciplined to what God has called us to do. We need to train and prepare for the race that is set before us so that we could run well, we could run to get the prize. In another passage from Corinthians, actually from 2 Corinthians, Paul says this. He says, that is why we never give up. He's calling for people to never give up. He says, that is why we never give up. Though our bodies are dying, our spirits are being renewed every day. For our present troubles are small and won't last very long. Our present troubles might just be this building and the struggles that we have to maintain it. It might be your car that broke down. It might be family issues or health issues. He says, for our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles. We don't look around at all the things that are falling apart, all the things in our life that are a mess, all the things that of this world that are holding us back. We don't look at those troubles we can see now. Rather, we fix our gaze on the things that cannot be seen. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever. Church, I believe that we are making an impact in our community. It may be slower sometimes than we want. It may be harder to see sometimes than we would like, and sometimes it may not even be something we can see. It's something that we may not know about until the next life, but I believe we are making an impact that is lasting forever. We are making a difference. We are seeing lives changed. We are seeing marriages changed. We are seeing families changed. We're seeing a community changed. And I am faithfully believing that God has so much more ahead for us. And so I hope that you will commit with me. You will commit with me to run the race. To run the race with our vision and mission of welcoming those who feel unwelcome, spreading hope to the hopeless, and loving like Jesus. And through that, we would impact our community through serving our city, shepherding our people, giving faithfully out of God's abundant blessings, and allow Him to do the multiplying. Let Him multiply our efforts far beyond anything we could ever hope and imagine. So we are trusting. We are trusting in Him and trusting that the small changes and the small steps forward that we make over time will lead to a radical difference if we trust in Him. I'm so thankful to be able to be your lead pastor and to lead you in this journey. And that's really what it is we are on a journey. We're on it together. Some of us might be at different spots in the journey, but we're on that journey together. And I ask for your continued support as we move forward throughout this next year. God is moving. And I am excited for what He has for us in 2025. In the next kind of section of the video today is a little bit of a recap of some of the things that have happened in our life this last year in 2024. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have an incredible Christmas. We love you and thank you for being a part of Muncie First Church and all that we're doing and all that God is doing in our community. Thank you. Is what if we would just simply do whatever the next right step is? What if we would just do whatever, not big things, nothing grand, nothing, miraculous, but just be obedient in the very, very small things and take the next right step and say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you just a little bit more today because I don't have a lot, but I just got a little bit. I'm just going to give you a little bit more today. And I'm going to trust you. As I said earlier, every day we get to make this choice. Will I see my circumstances as I see them? And I will respond as I feel I should? Or are we going to respond as God sees them, based on His promises, what He has said, what He has done? We get to choose. Happiness according to the world, or obedience and joy to God? That how we see our circumstances is to say, okay, I can respond in my view or in God's view. I can respond in my strength or in God's strength. I can do it my way or God's way. See, I think that this is the very thing that
led Jesus to endure the cross is that in that moment, he had the choice. I can see it as I see it, or I can see it as my Father sees it. In the garden, he prays, if there's another way, could we take this cup from me? But then resides himself to see the situation as his Father in heaven sees it. He endured the cross, the beatings, the whips, and everything. Why? Because he was confident that God was with him.
And of course, I didn't understand it then, but I understand now how God was at work, right? And so somehow I started to get clean. The 12-step programs are a huge part of my life. That's where I met Jesus Christ, is through a 12-step program, through the emptying out of the guilt and shame that I was carrying around from all these horrible decisions I made. I came to know Jesus Christ through that, and it was an interesting way of coming to know him. It was through our daughter Taylor, and she had a friend, and her dad was placed in my life, and he was an incredibly strong, devout Christian guy, and he gave me a Bible, and he didn't buy me a new one. He gave me a used Bible. He wasn't sure he's like, let's not spend any money on him yet. But let's just at least get him the Word. And so he gave me a Bible, and I'm going to kind of condense all this because we only have a few minutes, but through that, I got set on fire. Like, I started looking in here, and I was like, what? And I started reading, and the words came to life, and like the Holy Spirit began to work through the Word, and like I was just devouring the Word and working through these things. And each day it seemed like he was challenging us and removing things from my life. And so we got called, and this is why you don't see us around here. If we had not been called away, we would be here every Sunday. But we got called away through, we did a lot of things here. We did some Celebrate Recovery things, and God was really moving. And then I attend a club over on the south side of town, and he began to speak to us about having a church there. And so that's where we go. That's where we're at every Sunday, is we're over at what's called the Serenity Club, and we lead a church service there. And it's been years now, 15, 16 years that we've been doing that. And we have seen incredible lives change, not only through addiction, but the loved ones of addicts. We have a woman that comes to our church, and she showed up one day out of the blue. We didn't have any idea who she was, and the message that God brought through me, she came there. She was going to end her life that day, and she kept coming back, and in the process of this, she was healing, and in the process of that, one of her sons dies from addiction. And it's just been this road of recovery in her life, and in our lives together. We're like bonded together in this spiritual challenge that we've been given in that. And we doubt, and we trust, and we doubt, and we believe, and we have faith, and we don't. And we're in that epic conflict. And when you know the Holy Spirit and he's working in your life, that the world, there's an enemy, and the enemy's trying to work, so there's this conflict all the time. And so we're working through that, and we just see lives get transformed over there amongst ourselves included in that. So
Developed this friendship and a deep brotherly love. And we've been family friends ever since. We invite them to dinners. They've been at our family dinners. Even Kara and my sister have a good story. If Kara, you're watching this online, we get a good laugh about that. But I want to really talk about the night of the fire, and I don't want to focus on the fire because, like Todd said, there are so many people. I think of Larry and Linda Nichols today, and the struggle they're going through. And if it was just a fire, I think that would be like way better than what they're going through right now. And I just struggle with thinking that poor me, But I just want to talk a little bit about the fears and the stuff that I had going on after the fire. Like Todd said, it wasn't a Thursday, it was a Saturday. He's not good with dates.
every day's Saturday to me.
Saturday, we went to the vet and we put our precious little puppy to sleep. And I miss her every day. She was such a little comfort. Todd had lost his job in December. I don't know if he mentioned that, and that was a really, really tough time. Right at Christmas time, he lost his job. He started a new job in January, which was a godsend, and he got all this new work equipment, set up his office, and April, it all burned away, and it was gone. We were so grateful because the night of the fire, if anybody knows Todd, you know he turns into a pumpkin at about 8 o'clock, and we were up until about 11 that night, and we were going up to bed. Had we gone up to bed any sooner, we would not be alive today because the fire, the hot spot was in our bedroom, right behind our bed, in the wall of our attic. So the hot spot was upstairs in our bedroom, and it burned completely everything upstairs, including his new work equipment. We were I could have probably had time to get a lot more stuff out, but I was so not thinking right. I was like, my house is on fire. And one of the things we thought was, well, darn, we're going to have to replace our front porch. And we thought that was going to be a difficult situation. But Todd said, call 911. I called 911, and they said, we're not hanging up from you until you get out of the house. It's like, well, okay. I got out of the house. I saw outside Todd had a hose and a ladder trying to put out our fire. I can laugh about that now, but it was way bigger than we ever thought it could be. By the
I
time,
was like, there's a kink in the hose. You know, it was her fault. You guys know how that goes. The guys know how this goes.
So it was freezing. It was in April. We had spitting snow, and the wind did not help the fire at all. It was definitely not a good night to have a fire. The fire departments, the trucks that were there, 20 trucks were there in the yard. And you know what? I just thought about this morning. I'd say 85% of those firefighters were volunteer. There were guys there and ladies there that were trying to save my home and my life because they were volunteering. They wanted to do something for us. They wanted to save what we had and what we were losing. They were there volunteering. I mean, I can't even volunteer at a bake sale, for heaven's sakes. So my sister, my dear sweet sister, who lives in Fort Wayne, I think made record time, and she was there with us. My mom came over, and all we did is we sat in the warm cars and watched our house burn. And I went from my porch to my house to my every belonging, my kids' toys, my Christmas ornaments, my kids' college things, my daughter's wedding dress. It was gone. And I was just sitting there watching it, and there was nothing I could do. And these volunteer firefighters were bringing things out, pictures, and they'd come to the car and they'd say, what's in there? What can we get on the bottom floor? What can we get? You know, my purse, my glasses, my wallet, Todd's blessed elk antlers and deer mounts. They brought it all out, and they were just bringing it to us, and they were so sweet and generous. God said to me, use what I have given you. And he gave us Lee all those years ago. And if you didn't know, Lee Anderson is a home builder. This friend that God put in Todd's life over 25 years ago helped us build our life back. He prayed over us. What home builder does that? We went to dinner at their house, and the first thing they did was they prayed over us. They prayed over our decisions. They prayed over everything that we were going to have to be doing in this building back. They talked to us. They prayed for us. They had dinners. They had us over for dinner. They fed us. And they walked step by step through this home building process. We moved in on March 9th. It was April 16th, so almost a year to the date of when the house burned. It's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's clean. It smells so good for right now. All I felt was guilt, though, when I walked in, because I kind of felt like I was cheating on my old, beautiful house. Kind of like, ooh, I'm sorry, old house, but I really like this house. In this year of building and moving in, so many messages have come to me. Surrender. There are things that are way beyond my control and understanding. Hope. In a world that seems so dark sometimes, there is hope. I saw it in the form of clothing, money, food, friendships, and family. and prayers, and I see it today in 3 of our biggest blessings sitting right there: Brody, Penny, and Penelope. Talking about my fears to someone is something I've learned to do. Asking for help, because God's plans are better than anything I could conjure up. Left to my own devices, life is going to hit a brick wall. This has me only reaching for deeper for God's will in my life. And I heard a quote that goes, "We are so willing to die for our families, but are we willing to live for them?" I could settle in my fear and believe the lies of Satan today, or I can keep my eyes on heaven. I want to be obedient and intentional. I want to have a volunteer fireman's heart. I want to bear good fruit, and God only wants the best for me, and He wants me to live joyfully and abundantly, even in all my struggles.
Peace. He says that shalom, or peace, is that place where we are truly at home. Truly at home. Now, maybe that is at your home. When you go home, you just feel that sense of peace. But it could be somewhere else. And he says it's wherever you feel the warmth and comfort and belonging that we feel in our place. That is what we call home. Shalom, according to Cuss, is like a vocabulary superfood. It's packed with all kinds of power and meaning. He says it's not just an individual wholeness or wellness. It goes beyond the individual into the community. And so for us to be at peace, to have shalom, it's not just about us personally being at peace. We have to be at peace with each other, with our community, with our circumstances, with God, with everything. It goes beyond the individual into those around us. We can be at peace with God, but we must also be at peace with each other, with ourselves, and with our circumstances. This does not come by removing things from your life that stress you out. Although that may be a starting point, that is not where it comes from. It does not come from you willing yourself in your own strength to get there either. It's about, and I love this line, he says, it's about relaxing into God's presence. I love a good Sunday afternoon relax session. A little nap, a little Nazarene nap. You know, just love it. Summertime, we put golf on and just go right to sleep. This time of year, we put football on. By about the third quarter, we just go right to sleep. You know, it's like a lullaby. You just relax into God's presence. Is peace possible in your marriage? Is peace possible with your kids when they refuse to listen or do what you ask? Or is peace possible in broken relationships, or when you've been betrayed, or when your body hurts and it's like, man, this knee just never seems to be quite right, you know? Or when you're sick, or when you can't pay your bills. How do we have peace when everything around us seems to be fighting against that idea? Well, the battle for peace, and I think my slides are a little messed up here, Austin, because I know this is somewhere down. I meant to fix it, but I didn't. The battle for peace begins in our minds. It begins in our minds. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're fighting a war in your own head? It's like, what's going on up here? You know? For me, I can know and believe the truth of God. Read the scriptures, know that what it says is true, and then the minute something happens, I no longer seem to have the faith to believe that it's true for me. In fact, maybe even worse, I can believe it's true in your life and for you, but not for me. Maybe that's just my struggle, but I imagine that all of us can maybe relate to that. That I can sit and tell a friend, God is faithful, God is good, trust in Him. And then on Monday when something happens, I'm like, where are you, Lord? Do you not see what's going on in my life? The battle, though, begins in our minds. And this is not just some self-help thing or whatever. This is straight from the text. I want to show you two versions of this text, the NLT and the NIV. Let's look at them again. Verse 3, it says this: You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, you being God. God will keep you in perfect peace, all who trust in him, all whose thoughts are fixed on what? On him. Our thoughts need to be fixed on him. The NIV says it this way: You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. We trust in him. Notice what it doesn't say. Isaiah does not say, you will be kept in perfect peace, all whose minds are fixed on CNN, Fox News, our bank account balance. No, it's when we are fixed on him. The Hebrew word for fixed here is this word somak, and it means to lean on completely, to fully rest oneself, or as Cuss said it, to relax into. It is this idea that we would completely lean on God, trust on God, rest. We cannot be at peace if we don't rest into God. You are not at peace if you're busy-minded and worried and stressed. You'll be kept in perfect peace when your mind is leaning on God. Perfect peace is when our thoughts rest on God's unfailing promises.
Power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder, who leaves us breathless in awe and wonder. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Who brings our chaos back into order, who makes the orphan a son and daughter. The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with truth and justice, shines like the sun in all of his brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Oh, tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it, go tell it, go tell it, go tell it. Go tell it, 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 go